what I've taken away from him is that you can really be like Manoj Bajpayee or whoever you are, but just treat people well. You know, I recently saw Avesham.
Yeah.
And it was just a blast.
Yes.
You know, he anyway such a huge fan of
Far.
when you are from the outside, you don't get launched on this huge, amazing, massive platform. You know, it's slow.
He gave you the script of Mukkabaz and told you to read it.
Yeah.
But what's happening to that script that you had taken
Nothing.
to him?
He hated it.
Hated it?
He didn't hate it, but he strongly disliked it.
Actually, you know, speaking about Saif Ali Khan, I think sometimes we tend to overlook the fact that he's a great actor.
I mean, I'm a huge fan.
Same.
I of him as a performer and him as a person as well. What irritates me and what irritates, I guess, a lot of other people like me is the lack of opportunity.
Yes.
You know, the lack of opportunity, the lack of merit-based opportunity. You know, it's really irritating when people are like, oh, if you're not good, you're not going to last. There are lots of people that are not good and have been around forever. I mean, Love Richa, of course, she is always really saying it like it is, you know, and being so direct. For Mukkabaz, nobody even wanted to give me clothes. Because they were like, who is she? Where she come from? And of course, I hear it constantly that numbers matter, the numbers matter. But now what do? I'm trying, okay? And our bodies keep changing.
That's
and
true.
if it's about weight, you can lose it. If you're a terrible person, there's nothing you can do about it. You're stuck with a shitty personality.
Hi Zoya.
Hi.
Welcome to News 18.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely our pleasure, and thank you for inviting us to your lovely home.
Thank you for taking the time out.
So what's been keeping you busy?
At the moment, just film is just released on Friday. So at the moment, just messages, calls, responding to people. It's been quite lovely. I know that it's a certain type of film that not people have enjoyed watching, and some people are like, what is this? So it's a mix, but I have got a really good response, and I had an absolutely wonderful time being a part of the film. So I'm just happy that it's done well.
Yeah.
You know.
Right. Of course, you've spoken a lot about, working with Manoj Bajpayee and the fact that initially you were intimidated with him. And I can imagine, well, of course, he's Manoj Bajpayee.
Yeah, of course.
So, but then tell me something at a very personal level. What has been a key takeaway for you from him?
He's just a really supportive person, you know, whether it's as a co-actor, whether it's as a producer, whether it's, giving just advice or whatever. But what I've taken away from him is that you can really be like Manoj Bajpayee or whoever you are, but just treat people well.
Yeah.
Treat people nicely, interact with people, and make people feel like you're a part of a team. Because coming from somebody that you have looked up to, it really gives people a lot of confidence. I definitely got that confidence from him. But not just me, even a lot of the junior people, the interns, the ADs, people that are in their early 20s, to get encouragement and support from somebody you've admired, really, like, you don't know how much it really impacts people,
That's true.
As opposed to getting the cold shoulder or just like, either cold treatment or very formal behavior, whatever. Sometimes you can feel a bit conscious, and it can make you feel, affect your confidence in a negative way and not really motivate you. So it was really lovely that he created such a positive, encouraging environment.
Yeah. We can sort of, please correct me if I'm wrong, but slot Bhaiyaji as a curry western, let's say. It's like that, right? Do you want to see more women headlining such films, which is largely action oriented?
Definitely.
And why do you think we haven't really seen? I mean, budget has never been an issue for us.
I have no idea why. People say things like women oriented and male oriented, and I have not, I guess, been in the industry long enough to understand these things, or I just don't have an understanding of these trends and blah, blah, blah. I have no idea. And I recently saw Avesham.
Yeah.
And it was just a blast.
Yes.
He anyway such a huge fan of
Far.
And even to see him give those boys such a huge platform and not just keep it for himself was so wonderful to watch. Fahad Fazil, of course, is amazing in it. And, he's not taking himself too seriously. It's still fun, but it's not silly or stupid as a result. And I think it would be lovely to see women do these things that even are tongue-in-cheek or sarcastic or
Yeah, I
dark
know, why
comedies.
not?
I don't know why either all women-oriented things either have to be like very serious or then like the complete opposite ditzy, you know, we are these like stupid girls. Like,
I know, absolutely.
do serious girls don't have fun?
Exactly, that's my point.
Like,
These
you
are
know,
like tropes.
yeah, and I wish that exactly what you've actually just said. I wish we can move away from these tropes. And I think some things only get normalized when you show them as being normal and stop underlining it. So even though this is a curry western or whatever, there were a couple of these stereotypes that we wanted to move away from. Even the way we see a female action lead, the way somebody looks, or the way your male hero action, you know, looks. Move away from this stuff and just, some people will like it, some people will not like it. Some people don't want to see Manoj Bajpayee like this, and some people are like, thank God he's finally doing something like this.
Yeah.
Similarly with me, it's a very different choice for me and Apurva as well. So we were like, if we're going to do something out there, I'm really grateful I got to do it with this team. You know, I hope that many other female actors get these opportunities.
Yeah, that is true. You have received a lot of critical acclaim, for all your performances, right, since Mukkabaz. Do you ever crave for that box office validation?
I don't know. So, unfortunately for me, unfortunately for the whole world, because of COVID, apart from Mukkabaz, actually, all of my work has come out during the lockdown and during COVID, like every single project. So, I do meet a lot of people that are like, where have you been? What are you doing? Why aren't you doing work? And it's like, you've just not seen it. You've just not seen it. Also, when you are from the outside, you don't get launched on this huge, amazing, massive platform. You know, it's slow. It's slowly. Somebody sees your work, they like it. You reach out to directors you admire, you want to work with, and it kind of comes together. I would love to be a part of a film that is not only critically acclaimed, but also does amazing at the box office. Because that benefits everyone.
Yeah.
It benefits definitely the actors, but it just benefits everyone. And I think what that does, unfortunately, it also is like, oh, she was in a hit film, or she was in a successful film. Yeah, so I think that matter. I don't know, I could be completely wrong, so you please correct me. But I think that in the eyes of a lot of people doing the casting or in positions of power or decision making, I guess it matters to them.
Yeah,
You know,
it
so
does.
I would love to, of course, enjoy success as well and enjoy a hit commercially at the box office. But more than validation, I hope that it leads for me to more opportunities and to people to be like, oh, okay, yay, good, like that.
But what was the perk really of starting your career with an Anurag Kashyap?
I just always wanted to work with him.
Yeah.
I right through college and all, I saw, of course, Devdi, Gangs of Wasipur, but even the very like hard-hitting ones, Black Friday, of course, we saw only at like secret film festival screenings and things like that. Panch, though we haven't seen. Gulal, all these films, No Smoking, even those, films that, I remember in Delhi, we had the Ocean Film Festival. So we used to go, and he also used to come and just give these random, we were all film geeks, so we would go for these things. There was no plan, whatever. I was just really grateful to have that opportunity, Loved the film, the script, was dying to work with him, of course, and Vineet. And I had a grand time. I really had the time of my life, and I'm grateful for the platform that I got from the film.
I read somewhere actually, I think you were in touch with Mr. Kashyap for a script that you had taken him.
Yes, that is
but
true.
then he, of course, thought he gave you the script of Mukkabaz and told you to read it.
Yeah.
But what's happening to that script that you had taken
Nothing.
to him?
He hated it.
Hated it?
He didn't hate it, but he strongly disliked it. He didn't like it. He said, work on it. Actually, recently, I won't say what, something similar came out, complete coincidence.
Oh, okay.
It was basically based on a short story that I had read, and some other similar short story got made. So, I don't know. But I do keep writing things on the side. You have to keep yourself occupied and mentally stimulated. So, I do hope, I would love to be able to write and direct in the future. Way too much to learn right now and just gain technical knowledge and all of that. But I really hope in the future that I am able to make something.
I'm actually looking forward to it.
Thank you.
I hope it happens soon.
I hope also sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
But I mean, the more I'm also working, I'm like, wow, it really takes a lot to get a project mounted.
Sure, I'm sure. It takes a lot of money, it takes a lot of time
Yeah.
and effort.
That people
of
don't want to
course.
give.
Yeah, that is the thing. That is the thing. But again, taking a cue from the conversation that we had about box office, for the lack of a better word, is there a greed somewhere, Zoya, to work with a Khan? I mean, you have worked with Saif Ali Khan.
Yeah.
But
I would love to. Definitely, I would love to do all kinds of films. I mean, I don't know if I ever, I mean, I have met them, but I don't know. I'll have to first get over being starstruck, you know?
you still are starstruck with a few people,
I
despite
get
being in the
starstruck
industry?
all the time because I'm anyway pretty introverted and I live on. So anyone I meet first, I'll be really awkward. Then I won't know what to say. Then I'll be like, "Hi, I'm so and so,"
Yeah.
and they'll be like, "Yeah, we know you." So it's really, but people have been really wonderful, and I would love to work with them, of course.
So when was the last time you found yourself starstruck?
I was very starstruck when I met Manoj for the first time because it was in an airport lounge.
Okay.
Before we were leaving to shoot the film, and I was just awkwardly, acting all cool, but not seeming chilled out at all. And it was, Apurva had to come and be like, "Guys, you're acting together, please." It was funny. It was quite a funny situation.
So I'm sure you went through this something similar when you actually met Saif Ali Khan also for Lal Kaptan, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that too so early on in your career, working with a Saif Ali Khan. Actually, speaking about Saif Ali Khan, I think sometimes we tend to overlook the fact that he's a great actor, and his choices are so unconventional and they work. They might not work at the box office, but I think they age really well.
I'm a huge fan.
Same.
Of him as a performer and him as a person as well. I think, again, I was very lucky. And I think I've actually had only wonderful experiences with my co-actors, Even him, even though he is who he is, extremely fun-loving, really sarcastic and funny, and everyone just likes to hang out together.
Yeah.
You take your own personal space and kind of, focus or decompress or whatever. But even with him, I think he broke the ice really early on, and it really helped me to get a little bit of confidence and be like, oh, okay, I can also make my own jokes, I can also be funny and I can also whatever. Because you feel like I don't want to misspeak or I don't want to intrude into somebody else's personal space. But again, like I said earlier, it's really encouraging when people of a certain position or experience or, so many years in the industry, if they are forthcoming and open, it really helps.
Surely.
The younger generation.
For sure. Was there a conversation to collaborate with Mr. Anurag Kashyap again post Mukkabaz?
We almost did. I actually was his AD one, his DA.
Okay.
On a short film called Char Chappale. That was after Mukkabaz. He is always doing so many things. So, I would love to work with him again. I hope it happens sooner rather than later.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I would just want to address the elephant in the room, the much talked about nepotism. Because you're an outsider and a complete outsider, right? With no connections at all, apart from that one connection being that you love the movies.
Yeah.
How are you navigating through it all?
It's tough, yaar. It actually is tough, And the thing is, of course, there's nepotism. It's there in every industry. Yes, we know. Of course, in ours, it's that much more heightened because of fame and money. And the platform, of course, I'm not saying that they shouldn't get work and whatever. Everyone should get work. Everyone should prosper and succeed and do good work. I think what irritates me and what irritates, I guess, a lot of other people like me is the lack of opportunity.
Yes.
The lack of opportunity, the lack of merit-based opportunity, and the way we get treated, till you gain a certain amount of success, people don't talk to you nicely. They don't, and it's not, actually, a lot of the directors or producers are very nice, but it's from stylists, hair and makeup people, ADs, casting people, and people don't have context to who you are, what you can do, what you have to offer. Only once you prove yourself, everyone has to prove themselves, do you even get that kind of response then? it just happens a lot easier and faster. Actually, it happens almost instantly for people that are from the industry, and for people for people that are not from the industry, it takes years.
Yeah.
It's not that, and it's really it's really irritating when people are like, oh, if you're not good, you're not going to last. There are lots of people that are not good and have been around forever.
Yes.
And there are lots of people that are really good and have to really struggle, in terms of money, in terms of getting opportunities, in terms of getting respect. And it's not that it doesn't happen. If you stay at it, it happens. It just really squeezes the life out of you.
Sure.
So I just wish that nobody's against working hard or proving themselves or anything like that. All I would like is for it to just be a little less stressful, a little easier, and a little more positive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a situation where you, let's say, were being considered for a part, but then it went to somebody who has more connections?
Yeah.
Happened.
Yes.
Okay.
More than once. It happened, but it happens to everyone.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
That's very much a thing.
It's very interesting actually what we're talking about right now, because I remember speaking to Richa a couple of weeks back, and she was saying the same thing. She's like, this lack of opportunities, it's not just when it comes to films, it's about everything. And especially when you come from outside, you do not know who to reach out to, how you should dress up, how your hair should be. So she said, in the initial days of my career, I was like, I didn't even have an idea that, for me to go to a press event or to a red carpet, I need to dress up. It did not even occur to her.
Look at me. Love Richa, of course. She is always really saying it like it is, and being so direct and honest, and so open about everything. I fully agree with her. I remember when Mukkabaz was happening, of course, the festival puts you up for 1 or 2 days, and then you have to figure it out. I didn't know this. I didn't know that I have to, who do I even contact for a gown? I'm going to go on a red carpet. It's a premiere. I have to wear a gown. I can't just wear a little dress. I can't just go how I normally go. I remember I went 2 hours before the premiere. I walked to a mall. I got my makeup done at a mall. And I said, okay, I'm going to walk back. It was very cold. It was in Toronto. So fortunately, otherwise I would have been sweating away. So I walked to the mall with my dress, wore my dress in the mall, got my makeup done, and then walked to the premiere.
My God.
So we have to do, it's tough, man. There's no manager and assistant and hair and stylist. And nobody's helping you with this stuff. Of course, slowly you figure it out. But it's tough. And I remember for Mukkabaz, nobody even wanted to give me clothes. Because they were like, who is she? Where she come from? I remember there was one designer, Gaurav Gupta, who's a very big designer. Him and his team were absolutely amazing. They did not care that it was my first film. He did not care that I hadn't done anything before. He was just like, wow, we want to support this person.
Wow.
And he was amazing. And I'll forever be grateful to him. And I am a fan of his now for him just doing that, because he didn't have to. It makes no difference to his life.
That's true.
So there are, of course, you do find some very nice people, but they are fewer to find.
The other thing is, of course, social media. These days, a lot of makers actually prefer people with a massive social media following. What's your take on this? Because your social media is pretty much
nothing.
You said it. I didn't say it.
Yeah.
But no. So have you been told ever to up your social media game by a casting
once
director?
a week at least.
Really?
I am told at least once a week by many people. But everyone in my family also tells me. But I am just not tech savvy. I'm not social media savvy. I can only take baby steps. And I'm really trying to take baby steps, okay? But it just doesn't happen. I don't have that natural wiring to be like, oh, I'll put a selfie now. Or I don't even take them. Most of the pictures on my phones are of my cats and dogs and trees and flowers and whatever. So I don't, even when I'm like, okay, let me find something to post, there's nothing to post. So baby steps. I do have a bit of an aversion to it. It doesn't come natural to me. I think it's wonderful for people that are savvy and good with it, because it really makes a difference to them. And of course, I hear it constantly that the numbers matter. But now what do? I'm trying, okay? Hopefully. There are many very wonderful people that still follow me and text me, message me on Instagram and all that, being very praising me and saying very positive things. So I hope that number grows, and they don't care
Yeah.
that I don't post that much.
Okay. And what about Bollywood parties? Do you go? Do you get invites?
Sometimes for some things, but I'll go if normally if somebody calls you, out of politeness.
No, I'm
whatever.
just saying, I was getting there actually. That do you think you get work if you go to a party?
I really don't know because I'm just not a part of that world. Actually, I don't think I've ever been for like Bollywood party. Maybe like post a screening or wrap, a film release or launch or some stuff like that. I don't know. I think it's definitely really nice to keep meeting people and to stay connected and stay in people's mind. I don't know how much that translates to work, quite honestly.
Yeah.
Not for me, at least. Maybe for some people it does. But it is nice to stay in people's consciousness so they know you exist. So they're like, oh, we can cast this person.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think your work kind of speaks for itself. If you've been a part of a successful film and you're a good performer, and I don't think going for parties can like replace that. Maybe it helps. I don't know. I'm sure it helps in some way. But I can't speak. I have no experience to speak of.
Yeah. And how, Zoya, how accessible are these top filmmakers or producers if you just want to pick up the phone on them and tell them that, I would want to work with you. If there's a script, please let me know.
I mean, pick up the phone though, you can't. But of course, I think it's very nice to, obviously we feel conscious. I also feel very conscious and awkward being like, how can I just message this person?
Right.
Or whatever. But I have found that when I have really liked something or I really admire a filmmaker, whatever, and I have, messaged them, they have responded.
Yeah.
And they've been really nice, very rarely, very, very rarely has somebody not responded or been rude. Nobody's ever been rude. People will be nice only. So I think that there's a little bit of a, once you kind of get over that awkwardness, because it is a bit weird to randomly, But I have found that when you do reach out, people are responsive. Again, you can just get in touch with them and let them know that you really, admire them and love their work and you would love to work with them. And then it's really up to them only, What are you going to do about it?
What do you think, Zoya, this means for women in Indian cinema? Because all we imagine as light, there's Radhika Apte's Midnight Sisters, I think.
And there's also another short film. I can't remember. Anyway.
No, I'm just saying, what do you think this means to our Indian women actors?
I think it's absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just complete coincidence actually that all the films are completely women-oriented, women-based. Even Payal Kapadia winning, wow, like what an achievement. Anusuya winning, what an achievement. Radhika, of course, has been at the forefront of this kind of cinema for so long and has been so vocal about her support and all of that. I think it's amazing. I hope that these films get more support, actually, more mainstream support. I hope we get to see these films. I hope that whether there are distributors or producers or people that can hold screenings, or we can have a fund or some kind of grant to be able to watch these films and support these kind of films in the future, because of course now that they've got this recognition, we're all going to be like, wow, oh my god. But it really must have been a struggle for them.
I'm sure.
So if we can bridge that gap and support talent as opposed to just praising talent once somebody gets recognition. I hope that shift can happen.
Exactly. We also want to really watch these films, and we do not know when they are going to release in our country. Yeah. Of course, you spoke about social media and all of that. Have you a lot of actually young actors, or actors who started out at the same time as let's say you, especially outsiders, they often speak about how they have also been told to change the way they look. Has that happened to you? Like go under the knife or something like that?
Yeah. It's happened to me for sure. I remember when I first came to Mumbai, I was told everything from my nose, lips, cheeks, weight, color, everything. You're just really picked apart. And of course, the criticism on women is a lot more than men. There's a lot of criticism for men as well about even the way they look. But it's just a lot more for women. very comfortable and happy with how I look and who I am. I don't have any. I mean, people should of course go and do whatever they want. I don't know. I think I'll have a disconnect with myself if I, I don't know. I don't know
Yeah.
how I feel about it. And our bodies keep changing. Even I think we just need to shut up about criticizing women so much. Men just do not have the hormones we have. They just do not
True.
have any ovaries or periods or anything like that. And I think we have now, of course, started to talk about it. But even your monthly whatever, when you're shooting a film is tough. It's really difficult. For some people, it's very painful. For some people, it's very smooth.
Yeah.
There's so many degrees of that. And our bodies go through so much. And we're all, as women, I'm sure even for you and your profession, it's not like just because it's this profession, it's hard. It's much harder. But our bodies as women are constantly criticized.
Right.
And our bodies keep changing.
That's
and if
true.
it's about weight, you can lose it. If you're a terrible person, there's nothing you can do about it.
That
You're
is
stuck
very
with a
true.
shitty personality.
That is true.
Our bodies keep changing. I've been all sizes. I've been really anemic and thin. I've been much heavier. I've been medium size. And I hope I can keep changing.
Yeah.
And I would love to see even actors in all kinds of sizes and all kinds of looks, Normally when people get stuff work done, you kind of end up looking the same.
Yeah.
What freaks me out is I can't imagine not having control of my face, not having control of if I'm emoting something, is it looking like that? That kind of freaks me out a bit about the whole thing. And this thought of changing myself purely to satisfy a mold,
Yeah.
I just can't wrap my head around. I just can't wrap my head around it
Yeah.
because it seems like such a fleeting concept.
It is.
Like to appease one director or to appease one producer, why would I do something permanent to myself? So
That's true.
I'm okay with not being able to please someone for that one project, but being
Yeah.
happy with myself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what matters at the end of
Yeah.
the day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Before I let you go, lastly, Zoya, a lot is actually discussed about your personal life on the internet. I don't know if you have read up.
No, I haven't.
No? Do you want to say anything? Are you dating somebody?
I mean, it's personal. It's my personal life. I'm not aware of this, so I don't know what to say.
Who's the one person they keep patching you up with?
Yeah.
It's your friend, Jim Sarb.
That's very true. We are very good friends. We're very close.
All
That is
right.
true.
Well, on that note, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And this was a lovely chat, I think.
Likewise.
And looking forward to what you bring to us next.
Thank you. I hope I see you soon as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Hi, I'm Zoya Hussain and you're watching me on News 18.